Greetings and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. I'm guided and led by Spirit. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with historical events involving ancient portals. All cases are treated as alleged until proven. All numbers used in this case pertain to the case context specifically and may not bear resemblance to similar or same numbers you may have in your birth chart. I present to you ancient portals. While trying to figure out where to go next after the previous episode, which was Wales. So effectively, we spent 2 episodes, let's say, in the United Kingdoms, as they are known today, full of vampiris. It's like walking into a cave and you see all the poo on the floor, littered with vampiri activity. Now, what I figured, the North and South Pole as we know it, Arctic and Antarctica, wouldn't they serve, if we're going to put on our tinfoil hats, get some popcorn ready? Well, what are the chances there's activity at the poles? For example, and I'm no geologist, weather person, nothing, obviously. Antarctica is essentially 1,000 kilometers away from any other source of life, as far as I understand it. Now, that is a lot of space, excuse the pun, a lot of space where things can happen, and the human eye and any other camera may or may not see anything happening in these areas. And what a beautiful region. Yeah, beautiful. So in the slides that I've got prepared, and we'll find our way, is now, I haven't done too much of a deep dive, but remember, we'll always be tapping into a timeline. As far as I could see, Captain James Cook sailed in the area around January 1773. So we'll have a look at that. And I thought his date of birth and when he passed, let's have a look. Born in England, died in the US. There was another expedition on the 22nd of January, so January 22nd, 1840, where there was some kind of, in those days they were claiming land, and I believe in this case it was the French, planted their flag January 22nd, 1840, so we'll have a look at that. Now, in the Arctic, North Pole, I have 2 dates. I have quite a contemporary date in September 1996, is when the Ottawa Declaration on the establishment of the Arctic Council. So this will be very interesting to have a look at. So that's more of a contemporary date. And while I was fishing, is it this one here? This was also part of the Ottawa Declaration, but there were 2 different ones, right? So the 1996 pertains to the Arctic Council, but specifically the other dates here, NATO and 14 other countries sign agreements here. We'll go deeper and I'll give more information and be specific there. So there he was, Captain James Cook, minding his own business. And he, in a sense, we can say, is part of the collective that discovers Antarctica. All right, so we'll definitely do a 72-hour scan here for Mr. James Cook when he's in the area. And again, we can also use the rationale. The ships of the day weren't exactly speedboats. So they would be in the area for a while. So the 72-hour scan should suffice. So let's have a look here. Well, let's see, 16, 17, 18. All right, so I'm going to actually start on the registered day first, yeah. So we have January, gives us the 1/17/8. Exploration can mean other things. Exploration. 1773 gives us an 8/11/18/9. 18/9. So we actually have an 18/9/8. Ooh. As you know, if you real-time view on the series, the beginning we struggled to get through. Energy was fighting us like a mofo. But we cracked through. Look what is happening here. We've stumbled. I haven't looked at these dates at all. And what I was leading up to is to say, as you know, there was better reaction from myself, obviously, doing it live versus pre-planned, because then I lose that initial wow. But wow, look what we have here. We've got a portal sequence. 36/9. I haven't looked at these numbers at all. 18/9/9. Interesting, hey? What do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? We have stumbled onto a portal sequence with the now very famous James Cook, who has been portrayed, and guess who's pinging on me? Robin Williams. A very famous character. Now, I have a theory, and you may agree. This is why, and here's a good example. Let's go back to the founding original, well, not the founding original. Pope Gregory is an example that we covered during Rome. He was a sitting pope. Vampiric numbers. And by the way, in his 72-hour scan, there's a portal sequence as well the next day. But recently we discovered this character here, John Sheffield. So the theory that I have, there was another guy. Let's see if we can find him. Okay, there was someone else. What I'm getting to, beg your pardon. What I'm getting to is when we find in the annals of history particular people, one can say remembered in time, whether famous or not. I mean, there was this one character here. Who knows who this person is in the day, but yet his information is important enough. Let's just say whoever that person was important enough to have information in history, right? But consider the fact that we have issues like reskinning, shapeshifters, vampiris, aliens, who also take on hosts for themselves. Our history book, in many ways, is their history book. So why would certain people be highlighted in history? In many ways, if we tap into people of history, we are tapping into, of course, we're tapping into, on one hand, contemporary timelines for that respective time. But who knows who's jumping around body to body to body all over town. So Captain James Cook, in his ship HMS Resolution and Adventure, crossed the Antarctic Circle on 17 January 1773. We have a portal sequence here. Beam me up, Scotty. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see. We've definitely got a portal sequence. I'm just doing the +1 first. I want to see what happens there. So the 18-9 continues the next day. And of course, we have an 18-9. So okay. January 17, although we have a portal sequence, we also have a conflict. The same conflict is carried through to the next day. So one can surmise it's a not so good conflict. And we've seen this before, even in contemporary times, actually, 9 + 9 conflicts. When you're dealing with 9 + 9 conflicts in the context of alien races of all kinds, been reminded of when I had my alien experience. There's multiple aliens. Now, I had my experience in 96. Since then, so much more information has been made available. But there are different, I wrote it here somewhere actually. Yeah, and we'll get to it just now. The Arctic North Pole, while putting out the numbers here as well for this Arctic Council, while looking at the numbers, I had a sense of 2 species. Now, I'm not talking 2 species of snow wolves or snow foxes or 2 species like Noah. I'm talking alien species. Now, interesting, I've just noticed this now actually. Look at this chart here. This is now North Pole. We have a 9 + 9 conflict here. The next day, because we're going to continue with James Cook, but I've just spotted something. So the -1 of the signing and creation of the Arctic Council, there's a portal sequence. There's an 18-9 and a stack of 7s portal sequence. But because it's September 18, we have a double 9 conflict. Okay, well, that's one thing. In the 0 days, so in other words, the established date of the creation of the council, look at, there's 1910-1 from the 19. Because of the 9 in September, we have 1910-1 again and 2810-1. Hidden 2810-1. Now, let's ask the question before we go back to Mr. Cook. If this is such a big thing, Ottawa Declaration on the establishment of the Arctic Council, why is the communication, or let's put it this way, why is there a line of communication that is hidden? There's a hidden 28-10-1. This is in 1996. We'll keep that in mind. Interesting, we have the same conflict here at the other end of the pole. So here's the two poles, North Pole, South Pole. In two samples, yes, I'm led by spirit when I pick dates. So let me just tell you the process. Of course, I read and research the area. What are significant dates in the area? And then I get a feeling. I don't count it out. And then I see. I saw now for the first time, there's a 9+9 conflict with Captain Cook. Double. And now we see there's also a 9+9 conflict in. When you're dealing with, again, I'm just saying, when you're dealing with worlds, different worlds, universes even, brings in an 18-9 plus 18-9 issue. Now, the reason why I raised the 19-10 ones, because it happens here with Cook in the +1. 19-10-1 in the same position with an 18-9. Things are not coincidences. 20, 30, so we got 37. Jesus. Okay, what I find interesting, and not to be too naive, 1773. Yes, we can say there must be a certain level of government, obviously, a certain level of operation, EQ or RQ. 3710-1's a big number. Let's go deeper. 20, you see, here's the 28-10-1. Interesting. Why is there so much hard tech around here? Is also the thing. Why is there so much hard tech around here? These are hard tech numbers, 3710-1. I mean, on one hand, the internet hasn't even been created at this point that we're aware of. High level operate. Ooh. Actually, there's a big problem here. January 18. So we get an 18-9 from the 18, and then there's an 18-9 from the year. But because we have that, we have a triple 18-9 issue here. This is the equivalent, if I had to use a metaphor, when you have like triple numbers like this, and we're dealing with voyage and voyages and ships and that level, that this is like a crash. And I've noticed in the alien shows that I've done, and in those, if you're new to the channel, it's in those alien shows that I initially did, 2 of them, 2 episodes, and I think there's a total of, don't quote me, there's more than, I believe there's around 12 cases I looked at, around about there. And it's in those episodes I discovered the portal sequence, or the presence of portal sequences. I didn't know there were portal sequences. I just kept on meditating on these things. Now, the day before, we also have a triple 18-9. This is very unusual. This is like, that could be an example. This is like the compass going haywire. Triple 18-9s the next day, high-level operational numbers. In fact, the day of discovery has 4 18-9s. Now I feel like saying it again. With this amount of high-level operational numbers, you sure they were traveling in a ship? I'm talking a sail ship. 16, I've been reminded of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Remember that? Fancy machines in during the years of Jack the Ripper there in London. 17.8, 18.9. So there's, okay, 17.8 is possibly the issue here. Who's 17.8, ladies and gentlemen? The lizard people, also known as Godzilla. So we've got a 35.8, 26.8. By the way, it's March 10. The worms are about to wake up. It's 4:37. Mommy birds, 5 o'clock. So we'll hear a bit of background audio later. 17.8.8. Okay. So we've got a 17.8 in the -1. Someone's telling me to please write down -1, 0, and all that. Okay, so -1. The day before the registered date, -1. I'm just going to lose. We all know that. Oh, yeah, it says 1,000 kilometers. I mean, whatever happens, it's like Vegas, right? Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Whatever happens in Antarctica, no one's ever going to fucking know about it. All right, 0. D-Day. Ooh, if you're watching real time, I received my invites last night, or it came over the weekend. Very lovely for the premiere this week. And the ensemble cast and the way the post has been made, it's going to be beautiful, man. It's just going to be beautiful. All right, let's see. So we got trouble in Tinseltown, ladies and gentlemen. We've got we might need to go back a day. So in the -1, what's drawn my attention, the -1, the day starts with a 16.7 Vampiric. And then now, the way this can work, the sequence of numbers, it starts with a 16.7, so we've got a Vampiric issue, followed by 17.8, Alien. Have you ever thought of snow Vampiric, ice Vampires? Oof, there was a movie about that, wasn't it? Where one of the families, I forget which vampire movie it was, there was one particular part of the family that lived in the Arctic, motherfuckers here. Do you recall that? I don't remember the name of the movie. Okay, here we go. 16, 17. So the day before, there's something happening here. Because even the day, jeez, how far do we want to go back? Okay, let's go back one more day. Let's see. We never know what's going to be around the corner. What I'm picking up, there's also human, the 15.6 humanoid issue. There's something happening here. Let's see, was this the big meeting day? Disguised as, hey, James Cook and his parrot. 25.7. Okay, there's a humanoid around as well, huh? So we've got a double 16.7 in play here because of the 9s springing around. There's a transitional thing happening here. Is what I'm feeling. I've been told to continue looking back. Just give me 1 sec here. Sorry for the... But let's see. There's something... I'm feeling transitional elements going on here. It feels like everyone is here as well. So we've got a 14. 14, 5, 15. So we've got a 15, 6 in the middle of the day, which would be technically the -3. So we've got the 15, 6. There's something going on here. And there's a 33, 6 portal, 33, 6 power number in the -3. 24, 6 seems familiar. 15, 6. So this is the humanoid issue here. 15, 6, 6. There's a 33, 6 here. I'm going to go one more day back. January 13. Something's going on here. 13, 4. 14, 5. 32, 5. 23, 5. 16, 7, 7. 14, 5. Someone's interfering with me. Vampiric energy around me. Alright, so let's see what's going. So 5, remember the horde that we found in Rome? 5-0, the horde. Was it in Rome? Demons. So what I'm seeing here, and my tin hat might be frying my brains, but let me tell you, January 13, now he discovers January 17, right? January 13, we have in the middle 14, 5, 32, 5, breaking of a group, 14, 5, so 5 equals demons. So I'm going to put here demons. Those are the dark motherfuckers, right? Like they're not all, but those are the dark motherfuckers. 14. So now we've got 14, 5, 15, 6. So we've got humans on the scene as well. Humanoids, I'm going to say, because there's been manipulation with these humans here as well. 15, 6. So let me explain, if you haven't heard in the previous episodes, if there's a 15, 6, so 6 is human, right? But there's a 5 here, which means there's been hands in the zygote pot, if you know what I mean. In other words, someone's been tampering with sperm, to put it mildly. So we got demons in trouble. They're whittling down groups. We've got humanoids in trouble, being sacrificed, eh? Fuck. So this is what I'm talking about, the sequence of numbers. So 15, 6 in the middle, then the next number down is 33, 6. So what's happening to them? They're having a fucking feast here. Lamb on the spit. 15, 6, 60. Oh, how interesting. So technically the -2, we start with 15, 6, the humanoid. So what happens to the humanoid? Now all of a sudden there's a 16, 7. Someone is converting. That the outcome is 16, 7. What the hell is going on here? Now, I've just been also shown, if you watch the Fake Kate series, during the December 25 sequence, where it's alleged in the time zone anyway, or tapping into that +369 sequence, we see a familiar pattern of numbers here as well. And I'm going to show you now. I'm going to make it blue for the purpose that we see it above all of the red here already, if you're watching the visual version. What I've just done is I've put a frame around all the day numbers in sequence. And this is the beautiful thing about this method. is ultimately, apart from knowing the numbers, we're looking for patterns. A sequence of numbers is a pattern, right? In the reskinning and rebirthing of the person we know as Kate Middleton, the slightly plumpish, cigarette-smoking, hot dog-eating, beer-drinking person that was standing on the green grass watching her prince in shining fake armor playing polo, who, if we fast forward sometime later, is obviously been occupied by some kind of alien. So when we tapped into the December 25 ceremonial sequence happening behind the Buckingham Palace walls, colloquially. So I'm using Buckingham Palace as a metaphor for the royal family, wherever they fucking reside, wherever they do their rituals, right? If you look at that sequence, we have a similar pattern. So in day numbers, 15-6, the humanoid, 16-7, shape-shifting, 17-8, alien. So they're reskinning. There's a process going on here that lines up exactly. Geez, I've been prompted to get that slide. This is almost identical. In Kate's sequence, it also ends in a portal sequence, but it's sevens. So in this case, we have nines. This is the whole Goomba, and this is what I was talking about with my alien experience, right? The messaging that I got at the time, now this is 1996. We since know this. But there was this theme about a unification of all alien nations. Now, I'm not promoting that at all. That is the message I got. What I'm seeing here is everyone has come together. Whether one can argue whether by restraint or by free will, that's another story. Because by all accounts, the humans were suffering badly here on this day. Jesus, humans, I'm seeing it. Far left corner of my eye. Feels like humans in distress, very badly in distress, and I keep getting shown this lamb on the spit. And all of these sixes, what would be the -3, oh, that is fire. This is like a ceremonial portal sequence. Now, if you look at Kate's December 25 blocks that I did, look at the day numbers. So the number in the middle, the combination of the month and the day gives you the day number. It's the exact same sequence. Someone's telling me, get it now, make life easy, no problem. Now, if you're kind of new to the channel and you're wondering why I'm looking at Kate Middleton, the episodes that I did indicate death. This was in 2023, December. This is the chart where I believe things happened, right? The December 24th, we see an 18-9 portal sequence with sevens here. And I just want to reiterate something here first. So here's this portal sequence where maybe we should even look at this again, but alleged where Kate goes, right? Then a community member pointed out that some believe December 12 onwards to December 15. Well, someone said December 12 is the day that she actually died. So I drew out those numbers as well. Now I'm going to remind you quickly, if you don't mind. 15:6 in the day, 16:7, 17:8, 18:9. Here we find the same sequence around Kate as well. Look here. I'm going to draw the same. See there? 15:6. While meditate, this meditation on these aliens and shapeshifters happened after episode 3, I believe, of the Kate series. I think there's about 19 or 20, whatever it is now. And I only released it later because I'm like, are you telling me someone's reskinning their shapeshifters human sacrifice? So human sacrifice comes with these processes. Then there's a reptile around. This was my early days of discovery. Right? 15:6 reskin. So here's 15:6 where I've said humanoids. I'm going to write it here. Beg your pardon. Reskin. I think because we're going quite deep into Jimmy Cook here, we may need to continue this as another part. So, but let's deal with this now. So we got a reskin. We got, so here's a number also for sacrifice, 16:7. But it brings in also the element of shapeshifters. Remember, this is 1773. These green, and I just got the creeps, these green motherfuckers have been around for a long time, as we know. They're even documented in what we call the Holy Bible. And not only in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, by the way, if you didn't know. I've done a lot of Bible work. There's a lot of alien activity in the Bible, even in the New Testament. In the Old Testament, beg your pardon. So exactly what we're seeing with Kate and the lizard family there, we've got it here as well. This is it's exactly with what you would say the ceremony at the palace. So something was going down here. And as I was saying in the beginning, when they celebrate, I mean, effectively our history book is their history book. So we're learning their history in a way. What was I going to say? The people that are earmarked in history are the ones they want to remember as well, and the ones they want to highlight. So when the old croaky alien in the year 3033 can show Jimmy the Cricket, look, there's your great-great-grandpa, James Cook, from Galactic Force 112, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, I've just been reminded, the human sacrifice is going on here, 16:7, in the Kate sequence. And here's a 33:6 right here. There's something, humans are in distress here, humanoids. What we know as humanoids. Here, there's sacrificing going on here. 32:5, highly destructive number. 34:7 in the same line, appeasing the gods. The Anunnaki. There's 3 theories around that. I keep saying it. I'll get there eventually. We got things going on here. 1818. This is this is actually this would give me the sense of the unification of all alien nations here. This is like meets here at the banquet. Looks a beautiful picture, huh? The ice, the cold. Ooh, humanoids don't like the cold. Only the brave ones, or the ones interested in geography, climate, environment, visit these areas. Very limited. So interesting, we got a 9+9 conflict here that appears to be around these poles. Interesting. Now, when we're speaking nines, we are saying worlds. If we zoom out and we look at the macro, we are talking worlds. We have a 9+9 conflict present at the Antarctica. And when we go to the Arctic, let's have a look. We have a 9+9 conflict again. So here we've got a double 18-9 issue, double 18-9. So we've got triple nines here. Here's a problem here. This is, okay, let me explain why this is a problem. And why I also, on one hand, we should find this problematic. Because surely, on one hand, you agree, so people have come together to form the Arctic Council, indigenous people and Western society, however that arrangement is. But if something is meant to be celebratory, one would assume, why is there so many conflicts around? So we've got 999 on the -1. Yo. Ancient portals, ladies and gentlemen. This one is more historic. But let's have a look. All right. So we got the 7 portal sequences here. You see, here's these 1910-1 hidden communication line as well. 2810-1. Are they sending a message to the Antarctica here? Just send it down the pipeline or pipe hole. So why would the communication be hidden? Okay, that's one thing. We'll see what we get here. So we got a 44-8 in play here. So on one hand, on the general, we can say 44-8. Okay. Okay, let's take it as an engineering number, right? But whatever science projects, experiments, bloody university stuff happening in both North and South Pole, one can say a 44-8 is relevant because it speaks about engineering, it speaks about environment. It also speaks about nature. It speaks about weather. If we just twist our tinfoil hat a little bit to the right, we start getting a frequency, which is a key word here, frequency. 44.8 can also bring in the issue of devices. Not to drink red wine forever. No. Devices, I mean, are we talking Stargate devices? Are we talking devices that I'm in the North Pole and I can see you in the South Pole? You know what I mean? The boring company should, I wonder if they did a boring from North to South Pole. Remember, we're still going to get into that big Earth theory, 40, outcome 4, hidden worlds. Jurassic Park gave me a lead. Okay. So we've got a 999 -1, problematic. We've got big operational numbers. So there's a conflict here, because even in September 19, there's a conflict. Because even with this double 19-10-1, technically is a problem. So, I haven't done, and I don't want to be divisive or create issues, but I haven't gone deep into the background of who the indigenous people are, who the countries that have signed in. So let's see if we pick up anything in the +3 of all of this. Yeah, you see, I was just about to say this. In the +3 of the -1, where we have the chaos 9s, triple 9s, there's a problem. Portal sequence. We also have a hidden 21-3. In fact, we have a hidden 30 outcome 3. Fucking hive here. There's a hive here. There's a hive here. I'll write it next to the -1. In the -1, so the +3, I'll just write the numbers that are here. So we have a hidden 30 outcome 3. Now, 3s can also speak about environment, but here's this 30 outcome, the alien world. Is this where they're hiding, the motherfuckers? Let's have a look. Okay, so already we've got a hidden 30 outcome 3 is problematic. Okay, let's go deeper. We've also got a hidden 21-3. So this is what I was getting to, is, are the indigenous people here being forced into a situation? Because 21-3 is the community that is not happy with what is going on. It's all transactional, 19-10-1. So we've got a 19-10-1 as well in the +3 the day before within the 72-hour scan. All right, so I'm going to look at the +6 the day before. There's definitely something here. So in the +6 the day before, so 24-6, we got that family number around 6-33-6. Holy shit. We have a 33-6 around here, ladies and gentlemen, in the +6 action, which means they did it. See, we got that. We got something here. You'll recall from the previous Rome, particularly Rome and California hills. Here's this hidden. There's another family here, hidden. We've been looking for this hidden 24-6. There's a hidden family. There's been sacrifices here as well. There's been sacrifices here as well. 1996. Holy shit, man. In the +9, day before, Yeah, these are all not good, eh? More 18 nines, 36 nines, all the nines. What the heck is happening in Tinseltown here? Okay, +3 of the day. 22-4. The Grand Master Plan, motherfuckers, here. 22-4. 22-4. And it's a double 22-4. Hold on. 22-4. Okay. So what the numbers we have here, and we've seen this before, we've got 22 fours around double. That is very significant. That, geez. And a 13-4. So on the one hand, we saw these numbers with the experiment numbers with the ISS space station. That's where I'm picking it up. I believe we saw these numbers in the ISS space station episode. In fact, it's the Big Earth episode. I think we may have stepped onto something here. On the surface, 22-4, 13-4s, and the 3s that would be preceding it. No, we're just doing experimentations, just getting data, capturing data. To my knowledge, very little grows in the Arctic, right? If they're doing experiments, it would be contained within, I'm assuming, in labs in the area, at the Antarctic, in labs. So in other words, when you look at pictures of the Arctic and Antarctic, to my knowledge, you're not seeing forests, you're not seeing valleys of green, you're not seeing vegetation in abundance. Am I right or wrong? So what are they growing in mass here? What are they breeding in mass here? This is a breeding site. North Pole, breeding site. Don't you think the picture of Antarctica looks very suspicious from above? To me, it almost looks like the devil, or the image of what we know to be the devil and the horns, motherfuckers. So, now, I don't want to come across as facetious, but I tell you, if we had a picture of the Arctic and there were valleys and landscapes of trees, flowers, maybe it's just below the earth, but then I'd say, okay, these numbers make sense. So what is being grown in mass in the area? Now, when you talk 22-4, 13-4-4, we are creating things there that one could say has part human. Who knows what the fuck is going on there? But they're growing. It's like they're growing kids. The word I'm told to use, they're growing children. And what race are these children? And I'm not saying it's not about indigenous race. It's not about the European race. It's not about the African race. What are these motherfuckers creating? Remember, the psychic impression that I received while putting out these numbers is I had 2 species here. Your 2 species are 29-11-2 and even can include 28-10-1. 2. It's a 25-7 year. So there's already a bit of corruption. There's a problem. There's definitely a portal sequence here. And by all accounts, we've seen this in the ISS station, these numbers. Yes, if there's a double 22-4, double 22-4, that is, let's put it this way. I'll try to do a metaphorical example why a double 22-4. And there's a hidden 31-4 as well. So let's just deal with the double 22-4, right? I'm going to relate it to a brick and mortar metaphor. So you got a baseball stadium or you got a football stadium, and it's packed, it's full. It's a sell-out crowd. Now, what the numbers are telling me for the game and whatever match it is, whatever game it is, in order to maximize the experience, they're going to put 3 stadiums on top of each other. So now you'll have Stadium 1, Stadium 2, Stadium 3, all stacked on each other to emphasize the match. Does that make sense? So now I have to ask the question again. What the fuck are they growing? There's colonies under here. Hidden 33, 12, well, hidden 33 can also speak about hidden colonies. What is hidden under here? 31-4 hidden in the 0 day of the signing. As much as there is life and creation, and we're talking gene manipulation as well, when you got all of these 8s, 44-8, 53-8, this is gene manipulation as well, by the way. As much as you are creating, you are destroying as well. Having a double 22-4 is crazy. So 25. So we got a 16-7 in the +6. So we have the same sequence, 15-6, 16-7, 17-8, 18-9. Exactly the same sequence that we've seen here with Jimmy Cook. It's the exact same sequence we've seen at the palace. Now, let's just say that is not a coincidence at all. We got ritualistic sequences that culminate in a portal sequence. Sayonara, motherfuckers. And we've got 3 of them. We found one in 1773, 2023, 1996, now imagine for 1 minute if this was the case. And I fucking feel it really is. This is crazy shit, yo. So, below our surface, as we know it, below the surface, we have colonies. Unless I missed the news article that says we have sent 3 million humans under Earth, as an example, to live underground and do experimentations, and please just document the process so if need be, we can hide underground. Does that sound plausible? Nope. We have hidden colonies under here. Hidden. We have the same ritualistic portal sequence. We have ritualistic numbers around. We have mass production baby-making machines here. What is going on under our ground, our feet? This is why, I was, using the map. We started in Rome, Vatican City, also known as Pedophile City. Then we go to France, get to London, we get to Wales, and I'm thinking, where do we go from here? Now, of course, as mentioned in previous episodes, we're going to come back to these locations. We're just tiptoeing around town, tiptoeing around the world. Let's see what Captain James Cook is up to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll go deeper. And please share your thoughts and comments. I do appreciate it. But certainly there's a lot going on right below our feet, as it turns out. Bye for now.